I think I know what Telugu film is going to get made. I think we're going to make you the super spy. We're going to have with you your dream cast. What is it? Mahesh? Mahesh should be one of them?
Allu Arjun.
Allu Arjun, Mahesh Babu. Who is it? We can do one more.
You need a female actress.
Yeah.
Oh, you can give Rashmika Mandanna that opportunity. She worked with Allu, so.
Excellent.
Who's Mahesh work with? He's worked with everyone as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you the bad guy or the good guy?
Oh, bad guy. You have to play bad guy.
It's more fun.
Yeah, that's my nature.
On the field, he's a bull, but off the field, he's a bear. A big smiling teddy bear. One who likes to dance, to explore, to have a laugh and to play pranks. Today, I catch up with David Warner on Skoda Presents Breakfast with Champions.
So I didn't know what TikTok was. So all the boys have been on it for a year, scrolling through, just scroll through, it's laughter. So I was like, all right, I'll just get on TikTok and see what happens. And then I was like, all right, some guy goes, oh, can you do a song that you know? And I only knew Sheila Kijavani and is it Sobe Hone Hair or something like that? I don't know what it was.
Sobe Hone Na De.
Yeah.
Main Tera Hero.
Yeah, and then Chamak Chella. They were the only three that I knew. So I was like, all right, we'll do Sheila Kijavani. And then the girls wanted to dress up in their little Indian outfits that they had. So we did that, and then all of a sudden we had 1 million requests. So TikTok India were like, oh, can you do this one? And I was like, oh, well, I'll see. I'll put a feeler out there. And then obviously the Hyderabadi fans were like, can you do Buttabama? So then we did that one, and then it went ballistic, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like the other way.
It's
it's
so
confusing.
tricky, man.
Yeah. So we did that.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. But our upbringing, like, it was very multicultural. For me, going to school, I grew up with Turkish heritage, Lebanese heritage, Syrian, you know, Indian, Bangladesh, Chinese, you name it. Everything was at my school, everything. Yeah. You know, so for me as an Australian, I almost felt like I was like the outcast because it was very multicultural and, you know, it taught me different foods as well. A lot of my Greek friends, you know, a lot of their foods, their you know, their koftas and stuff. A lot of them would bring the baklava, a lot of desserts. Everyone brought dessert to school, and everything was all mum's cooking. Yeah. Or it was their nonnas and nanas and all their cooking. And I was like, man, I'm coming to your house for a feed. Like, you know, I'm sick of the steak and chips at home. I'm coming there because that's tasty. At that school, I had a real good mate of mine. He's from Bangladesh background, and me and him as kids grew up, played the same cricket team, everything. And he always aspired to play for Bangladesh, even though he grew up in Australia. I would go to this place and would eat on the floor. And I'd be like, man, why are we eating on the floor? Yeah. And he's like, that's what we do, that's our culture. So from a young age, at like 11 years of age, I was already educated before I traveled. So I knew how different cultures were and I loved it.
And that friend of yours grew up to become Mustafizur Rahman.
Yes, he turned into Mustafiz. And that's funny. So when I first met Mustafiz, I was talking Bangla to him. So I had to speak to my friend at home. Yeah. And I said to him, I need to speak to him. I need some basic words or something. And he just
because
said,
he doesn't speak English. The Fizz doesn't speak English.
He didn't. So I had to communicate through him, and he would, before Google Translate and all this, he would tell me what to say, and I'd say this to him, and he'd just laugh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'd just say bouncer or Yorker. Slower ball.
Do you remember any of those in Bangla?
No, all I know is some rude words and Armin Maki Balabashi, which is I love you.
Yeah! you know your popularity rating just spiked in the entire Bengal region. Yeah, we're gonna slow this and make this another reel. Armin Maki Balabashi.
Armin Maki Balabashi.
Who are the characters in this Delhi team?
Sarfraz Khan. Like, he is a proper character. Salty's becoming a character.
Yeah.
He's becoming lively.
What do you do when the shaker is empty?
The shaker is empty?
Yeah.
Which shaker?
You fill salt.
Oh, that's so bad, but I'm going to use that on him tonight. I'm going to use him on tonight.
You're going to use it at dinner, aren't you?
Yeah.
Who are the guys you love pranking? So I'll ask you a few questions on your pranks.
Yeah.
First is your most successful prank, the one you remember.
You know, this is not a player. This was a friend of ours came out from England, and you've heard of Deep Heat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DP is like this balm to people. It's like
Tiger balm.
Like Tiger balm, like iodix on heat.
Oh, man.
Basically.
So he's staying at my house, and before I went to bed, I said to my wife, I'm going to go rub it on the toilet seat. He got up in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. in the morning, and all we hear is, oh, sorry, I can't swear. Like, what the
We just beep it.
What the beep is that? My balls are on fire. And he's 55 years of age, and his wife's in there going, what's wrong, what's wrong? He goes, my balls are on fire. And I can hear my wife was laughing her head off. And he's like, what is this? What is this? And I'm like, you're all right, what's going on? He goes, you put that stuff on the toilet seat. I was like, I was crying, I was in tears. And if you try and wash it, it's even worse. It's even worse. He's never forgiven me for it. So going back in South Africa, 2000 and I reckon it might have been 10, my first away series, I think it was. Ricky Ponting. So obviously our coach now. So he was rooming next to me. So I thought it'd be smart to go and put Vaseline on his door handle. And I put Vegemite in his keyhole. So I'm looking out my little peephole and I could see him come back. And he's tried to open his door. He's like, I could see him out the thing like this. And he went to put the key in, like wouldn't open. So we had to go in. And someone must have told him it was me. And 3 weeks go on, 3 weeks later, I go home, haven't opened my cricket kit at home. I just leave it there, haven't touched it. I go to pull out my cricket shoes, open everything. I go to put my shoes on. I look in there and there was salmon.
No! Ooh.
There was eggs. What? What is going on here? And I was like, I'm trying to reckon, who would do this to me? I've gone through customs in Australia. I could have gone to jail, not declaring all this stuff. And I've got there and I'm like, punter. I was sick as a, like, I was like, this is putrid, this is disgusting. This is the worst thing that someone could get. And he texts me, goes, yeah, you want to play a prank on me? I'll have the last laugh. So that was the last time ever I've pranked Ricky Ponting. Ever. I learned my lesson, a valuable lesson.
Never again.
I tell you, I wasn't part of this. I was on the same flight. We're coming back from South Africa, and Doug Bollinger, we all had a few too many drinks, and we're flying back to Australia. And Doug thought it'd be funny just to throw a piece of salmon on one of our guys.
A salmon again.
Bit of salmon. We get on the plane. Doug's fallen asleep. Now, Doug won't mind me saying this, but at that time, Doug had a rug.
Okay.
And at that stage, it was too hot, and he was ready to get taken off and redone at home.
Yeah.
So the boys thought it'd be funny to put a piece of cheese. He'd fall asleep, it was like that. Peeled his thing back, put some cheese in there, and put it over. Oh. 13-hour flight back from Dubai. And we actually forgot when we landed and woke up, and we're like, no, I think someone should tell Doug that he's got cheese under his rug before he gets off the plane. And he took it off and it's melted. Oh, goodness gracious me. And that was one of the best pranks I've seen live throughout a duration of a flight, specifically. And that was a bit of karma back to Doug, because he was being a nuisance before that.
With the salmon.
Oh, he was being a real nuisance.
I see the Australian team has learned how to weaponize salmon.
Yep, definitely.
Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard, let me see.
We lived in a townhouse community of 40 townhouses.
Yeah.
But inside there was like some, there was some criminals doing drug dealing and all that kind of stuff. So it was government housing.
Yeah.
And then like you walk in the streets back then, you probably wouldn't walk at night. So when I was like, 9 months you can get a job. So I worked at Woolworths packing shelves at night. Then I walk home. But not that I'd ever use it, but you always had a pocket knife to open the cardboard.
Yeah.
I knew if something happened, I had that in my pocket, but I was always taking the right routes home. So I knew where to go. If you walk down the middle of the street and it's all lit up, no one's gonna come near you.
Yeah.
You had to be street smart. So
yeah. Oh,
we learned that from a young age.
School of hard knocks, man. You learn early, yeah?
We have to. You become a good judge of character.
Oh.
You can work people out pretty much straight away in one conversation. You can You can drop me anywhere and I'll probably be able to go, all right, this is a bit rough.
Are you like Jason Bourne then?
Not Jason Bourne, but whenever you're at a restaurant, always sit up against the wall.
It's just really Jason Bourne advice.
You have to.
Keep your knife cutter really close. Your box cutter.
If you think about it, next time you go for dinner, you walk into a restaurant, you're sitting there, and you have a look around you. The first thing you should always do is look where the exits are. Always have your back to the wall because no one come from behind you, and make sure you got something on your table in case something happens. You know you got something here. You just never know.
This one I want to ask you, what restaurants have you been going to? Is it true you got one bat and you had to like protect that bat with your life because you knew that if you did something to that bat, you'd probably have to play with your hand after that?
And one group of guys that I went to school with knew that was like it was basically like my baby.
Yeah. Ooh.
And they took it from me and like were being like smart asses.
Yeah.
And they'd hid the bat and like I lost it. Like my parents like were like really angry, and we sort of knew who took it. They were just playing around for a whole day, and I didn't, for 2 days I didn't know where it was. It was one of the guys that told me they hid it in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So they'd hid it, and there used to be like a, at Chennai how they have that creek at the front of the stadium.
Yeah.
So we used to have a canal like that, and used to go underneath our townhouses. So I knew if I jumped on the other side of the townhouse, I could come this way. And I'd known that they'd hid it somewhere in there. So I went through the tunnel, because it was a long tunnel, it was about 1 kilometre long before you got to light. If it rained, I was gone.
Yeah.
And I sort of saw it there, and I sort of crawled up the backside the whole way and knew it was there, and I actually grabbed it and then crawled all the way back. And then the next day I went to them and I said, see, I got it. So I managed to get it, and then never again did I ever. So I'd take that to school, I would use it for everything. Like that was my baby to play cricket with. So
Usman Khwaja is one of your oldest friends, right?
Yep.
Cricket or kind of where you live?
So we all played in the same. Nurjan, he played with us as well. So growing up as cricket, and then Usman, eldest brother, played with my brother growing up. So they were 7 years older than both of us. So they played together. Me and Uzi would throw the tennis ball against the wall, classic catches, all that stuff. Played reps cricket with each other. And I was that mischievous kid that would throw cherries on his clothes and on everyone's clothes because they were all white, and I thought it was funny. But then the parents obviously get angry because they have to wash the clothes.
There's always somebody who doesn't find it funny.
Exactly. We all couldn't afford buying brand new clothes every week, so I got in trouble big time from my mum saying, that stuff doesn't come out. So I was like, okay, I'll stop.
Did your discipline also go up after you met your wife?
100%.
Yeah.
Just getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go training, and I'm like, this is time for sleep.
Oh, jeez, that's early, man.
And the big thing was the discipline side of it was a routine.
Yeah.
Wake up, come back after training, 9 o'clock, have breakfast, got the rest of the day. We were very sport orientated. So after school, we went outside. My wife would be down the beach, she'll be training, she'll be on the water, swimming, paddling, skiing. Myself, I'd be playing with my brother or a mate. So, for us, if our kids are active and they want to keep doing it, then that's good for them. But the good thing about the kids is, if they don't want to go to tennis, they don't want to go to netball, then you don't have to go. But they're up in the morning, 6:30 breakfast, 7 o'clock out the door, they go to tennis, they go to school, come back, and they either have cricket or tennis or gymnastics or swimming after school. And we say to them, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But they love it, absolutely love it.
It's crazy because when you're on field, you're like the bull. Is that one of your nicknames as well?
Yeah, bull, and then they called me the Reverend.
The Reverend.
So I stopped drinking for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I became an ultra positive person. So for me, it was about a process of outweighing the negative thoughts in my mind.
Yeah.
I had to always think of 3 or 4 positive things to say about myself. So while doing that, I was looking around and listening to people's conversations, and I was like, boys, you guys sound so negative. Like everything was like, oh, my coffee's not hot enough, or I want cold water, not warm water. Like, hey, I'm grateful for this coffee today.
Yeah.
It actually tastes really nice. So then everyone just started calling me the Reverend because I kept on pulling people up. Hey, come on, man, speak positive to yourself. You're good looking, you're alive, you're breathing, you've got a happy family. And then, go on. This came to mind when I was reading. The number one thing you do when you're driving is you lose your patience. We stop at a red light. Why can't it be green?
True.
Just something in life is always going to stop you from doing something.
True.
For me, I was just like going, just be patient. It's okay. Green light, let's go. So I was just giving positive affirmations.
Attitude of
back to people.
gratitude.
Yeah. Positive compounding outweighs negative compounding.
Yeah, nice.
All physics now, science.
Yeah, true. Velocity. The only word I know is velocity.
Yeah.
I also know E is equal to MC squared, but we're in Delhi, MC means something else. Stop it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not gonna lie, daughter had Yagi, her brain fried. My lady Papa Zenny out of
Some cold water as well, please.
Thunder punny. I've been facing 150 kilometers an hour for the last 15 years in the nets.
Yeah.
And they're all like, yo, you play fast bowling well. I said, yeah, because I train with it every day.
Yeah.
What are you doing today? Oh, yeah, rocking up, going to training, brand new balls, swinging around in 150 Ks.
And
it's a lot of fun.
Who all coming at you?
So at that stage, it was Mitchell Johnson, Sean Tate, Dirk Nannes, Brett Lee towards the back end. You had a guy called, obviously, Ryan Harris as well. And then all of a sudden it started, you got Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, James Pattinson at that time as well. You had guys just bowling every day, rock up, brand new cricket ball. It's like the same old. You got the best job in the world. Yeah, when I'm game day.
Yeah.
Game day is the best job in the world. Training is not at all fun. When you hit one out the middle, it just sounds like a gunshot, and it makes you feel good. And then as an opposition, you're like, oh boy.
Oops.
Like it's crazy. It's like when Virat's the easiest example. When he hits one out the middle, you're like, whew, that came off like a slingshot.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like when guys time the ball, you go, oh wow, like that's nice. And you're like, that's a nice bat.
When you started, I find it so crazy because you've always heard in Australia, there's always this system, everybody comes through the system and goes. But for you, it wasn't just that you got spotted somewhere. It was like you were trying to get into the state team, but something or the other kept you had to outmaneuver it, didn't you?
Yeah,
What was the story there?
So I batted 6 and 7 and played a bit of one-day stuff, and I bowled leg spin. I was used a couple, exactly the same as Smithy. We're both the same player, and no one really saw us as test players.
Yeah.
You know, the coaches and that were just more like, all right, they'll be white ball players, and you know, rightfully so. That's their own judgment, but. I was playing a one-day game and we're chasing 240. And then Dominic Thornley basically just said to me, goes, you're going to open the batting today. I was like,
Just
okay.
like that?
Just like that. No worries. Face a new ball. Haven't faced a brand new ball at training for the last 10 years as a kid growing up. Never faced a brand new ball. And went out there and scored 165 not out. And from there it was like, all right, you become an opening batsman. I was like, huh? It was like, you know, sink or swim, pretty much. And from there it was like, okay, I can open the batting. The best thing was, and this is what I say to younger kids growing up, the better level of cricket you play, the easier it becomes. You're playing on better wickets and you know where the bowler's bowling the ball. But I sort of, like what Viru was saying, his philosophy was, he goes, you only have, it was at that stage, 2 fielders in front. You've got point and mid-off, and like sort of, you got the mid-on guy. So he goes, you only got those 2, everyone else behind the wicket. He goes, so just hit the ball. Simple. I was like, yeah, you're right. It is. So it's a good philosophy.
Yeah. I remember you were telling me earlier, you have a little chirp, you say a little joke, try to engage the person. Who are the guys you like talking to in the opposition?
Yeah.
Like the whole Tim Payne with Ashwin, Rishabh Pant, do you want a babysitter? I'm laughing. I'm like, old-time cricketers are looking at this and going, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I know.
What is this?
It's funny. Like I think Hashim Amla was one for me where I was always like, Hash, if I make you smile, I know I've gotten into your head. And like, he'll just look at me with his normal demeanor, and he's just a great character. He's a great guy. Today, a lot of people, like I know myself and Virat, and I know he wouldn't mind me saying it, but we get energy off people talking to us or coming.
Yeah.
If you're coming at us, it's like, that's the fight that we're in.
Oh, he loves it. That's fuel for him.
You know, it is.
You can tell.
It is, and that's what we liked. You know, that's how it got us going, got my feet going. It's like, not that you don't have to prove a point. It's more like you go, yep, I'm in, bang, bang, bang. Feet are moving, bang. You know, hey, you got me in today. You know?
Yeah.
Scored 100. Thanks, mate.
Mad as savage, me back and I'm back and it happening, ready to blow. I remember doing deeds with Deji from the street, they left me on my own. Monkey asking me about how I got the PR.
How many international players have captained or have lifted an IPL trophy? Shane Warne, Adam Gilchrist, and you.
Good company.
Short list.
Yeah, it is. It was good. I absolutely loved my time. Like, you know, that season, everything had to go to plan. We had to win 4 games in a row to actually win that.
Yeah.
We had to play as well as we could. So I gave responsibility to the bowlers, and each bowler was responsible for their 24 deliveries. And I remember just saying to the guys, when you come on the bowl in the middle, you're just going death. I want you to go death. That's how we're going to win.
So bowl in the middle
bowling.
thinking it's the death.
Just bowl death.
Oh.
What's the hardest thing to hit? Just bowl death. So that's how we created dot balls. You know, that's how we...
Defended 125.
But the execution was upon the bowler. And we executed so well as a bowling group. Our bowling group was so good that year. You know, I have to say, Ranjiv Gandhi, I love that in Hyderabad, that wicket. The reason why I say that is because the curator there, he's one of the greatest men.
Yeah.
Like he'll rock up and just go, Warner, this one, 100 for you. I'm like, is that going to happen every game? Please, let's go. That'd be awesome. But he always prepared an amazing wicket. We knew every time we rocked up there, the 7 games we were playing there, we knew exactly what we were getting.
Oh, that's nice.
Always. Nice wicket, always going to be true, bat and ball. And you knew if you got 170 plus runs, you're going to win the game.
Exactly like Delhi then.
Yes.
You had some real characters in that team. Rashid Khan.
Yep.
Early in his career.
Yep.
Yuvi was in that team as well. Ashish Nehra was in that team.
Oh, awesome. I loved being around them. One, not that there's 2 legends of Indian cricket. The fact that they are ripping blokes.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing blokes. Like, I loved them. Like, playing against UV was different. Like, you see, it's a bit like me, you know, the face that you see on TV.
Yeah.
And the concentration is different to what you see in real life.
Yeah.
Like, Ashish just cracks jokes all the time. Like, I'm just like, I'm sitting here today going, Ashish Nehra, I know, how is he coaching?
Yeah. And Hardik told me, he said, the first game I ever captained, he says, I remembered who had to bowl the first over. He says, the second over, I forgot. But then I look this side and there's 3 fielders standing saying, where do we go? Like it's a tea stall.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know, just go somewhere. So I'm looking outside and I'm asking Ashish.
He's like a soccer coach, walking up and down the thing. And I'm like, this is new coaching. This is innovation. Yeah. This is how 2020 coaching should be.
Yeah.
I want to see him throw his hat one day. I want to see him get on the head mic. You know, like just tell him to go over there. What's he playing that shot for? I'd love to see that.
So he, instead of that headset, he uses David Miller.
And he goes like this. I'm like, no one's going to lip read you. He's bowling the next ball. Like, they're not going to get out there and go, hey, mate, he's going to bowl the slow ball. That's funny. I like it.
I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits. Yeah.
I went to Subco.
Oh!
And then...
In Bombay?
Yeah.
No, oh, here.
So I walked down here, and this kid was so funny. He placed the stumps there so he could bowl at the rough. And then the father came out and bowled. And you know what's funny? So I was walking down the street, and I was like, I'm trying to find this cafe. And I stopped and I played cricket.
This is in Bandra?
It's in Colaba.
Oh, in Colaba, okay.
And then I turned to my left, and it's right there. The guy opens the thing, I walk in, I'm right there. And I was like, that is meant to be. Stop, they played in cricket right out front of Subco.
Wow.
And I couldn't find the cafe. I was like, wow. So just batting, I looked there, I'm like, it's the cafe I'm going to. It was awesome, I loved it.
You've played all around India, you've gone, but in your off time as well, you've explored India quite a bit as well, right?
I love going out, love visiting the history of India because it's such a sacred place. Like, I absolutely love it. It's peaceful. You know, I just love everything about it. You know.
So where do you want to explore? Where haven't you been?
I want to go Akshardham Palace because I haven't been there yet.
Oh.
And I've not been to the Taj Mahal. It is on the bucket list, but I've got no time to get there.
What about exploring a Telugu movie set? Just, you know, there's a show idea.
Yeah.
We should do this.
We should. And they can dub my voice into Telugu as well.
And make you do a cameo.
Have they made Pushpa yet? Pushpa 2? Have they made that yet?
No, they haven't made Pushpa. We should get you
We should go on the
cameo in. We should get you a cameo in Pushpa 2.
Nah, let the actors act.
I'm just saying, just a cameo. I'm off for a test drive in the Skoda Kushaq, India's safest family car. आप भी अपनी test drive आज ही book करें. I'll see you soon with the next champion.